Hi.
Welcome back to another YouTube video here
Hi.
on Jules Travel Fit. Today I have Linda with me.
I'm Linda.
Yes, my friend from Chile. She is actually German as well. So right now she's visiting me and we thought let's do a video.
Let's do it.
Yes. I'm going to speak today about Chile, what it is to live there, answering all your questions basically, and also the experiences that we made as Germans or as foreigners.
As we both lived there, so I think this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and maybe there are a few things that you didn't know about Chile, or that, of course this is just our personal experience and everybody has different experiences and different viewpoints, but maybe there are a few things that you're like, oh my god, I didn't know that. So let's jump right in. So Linda, tell us a little bit about you. You lived how long in Chile, or how did you, what was your experience?
So I lived in Chile for 4 years, no, almost 5 years actually. I came there because of love. Same as you? No, not same as you actually.
But now
I met many people who this happened to. Like, so many people go to Chile because they fall in love with some Chilean person. and yeah, that's how I stayed there. And then I went also for a solo travel trip around Chile. I thought I was actually going to stay there last time, but then the pandemic actually extended that stay like a lot, because I like to keep traveling, but then we just stayed in Chile. So yeah, and we got like a flat there. I don't know, what was about you? What was your experience?
So you first wanted to travel and then you got like stuck.
Yeah, basically I got stuck.
Yeah, that's similar with me, but I went alone to Chile. It was because of my sister. She had a Chilean boyfriend as well, and she lived in Santiago. So after my year in Australia, I got to know so many Spanish-speaking people and South Americans that I really was inspired to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
So that was like the main force of mine why I wanted to go to Chile, which then in the end, of course, Chile, we're gonna talk about that later, is not the greatest place to learn Spanish, but that was like my idea. So also, as my sister lived in Santiago de Chile, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go right there and just see how I like it. I knew that I want to live by the beach, or like close to the beach, so I didn't stay that long in her flat, actually like 2 days, and then I took my bags and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see you. And I moved to Reñaca, which is like a little beach town close to Viña del Mar. And it's
That's where we met.
Yeah, but not at that point though. Like, we met there
Later.
Yeah, recent actually. And at that point I had basically 0 friends there. I did not know anybody. So it was really difficult for me. But that whole experience just transformed into a great one, and I have a lot of good memories with Chile in general.
Yeah, like in my case, I switched around many places. So I also came to Santiago first, and I was living there for like half a year. Then I went traveling to the north, came back living in the north of Chile, like in the desert actually. It was really interesting experience. And then after knowing the north, I went to Reñaca, which is like in the center of the country. And that's where we met, but like 1-2 years later or something.
I really got stuck in Reñaca because I just loved the whole vibe of like surfing and the culture there.
Beach town.
Yeah. And as a foreigner, it is pretty cool to see. Also, I don't know, it was so different than Europe, but then also so different than Australia. So I thought I'm gonna stay there and be like a nanny for a few months, and then obviously learn Spanish, because I was thinking, if I keep traveling right now, I probably stay just in hostels and speak English all the time, and then my goal to learn Spanish is like basically is getting lost.
Yeah.
But then I ended up being like 8 months in Reñaca, and then flew home, so I did not have any time to travel more or see further more of the beautiful country, which I somehow like regret a little bit. But
yeah, we both didn't see. Well, I saw a lot of the north actually. Of the north, I saw basically everything I wanted to see. But in the south, I never went to the south to Patagonia, and yeah, I also regret that actually.
Yeah, it's supposed to be so beautiful.
Yeah,
and like just a gorgeous landscape.
For next time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, we can always come back. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
and that is also something that I learned from my host family. I had then a host family there that was like, is now like a second family, and it feels really good to also come back and see them every time I am in Chile. And they actually said to me, you can always come back, like literally it's just a flight away. And that's not so much, you know, maybe it's 15 hours in general, which seems a lot
for many people. That's
to a lot of people, but then
it's like a night. You basically get on the plane, you sleep, and then you arrive.
Yeah.
So I also thought it was pretty okay.
Yeah, there are things that are worse, and that's why it's like the world is small.
Yeah, like I liked living there. I think I kind of got stuck there because of fear of the pandemic. So we wanted to get out of the country, but never did in the end because of fear. And now that I'm back to Germany, I'm happy to be back, but it was also a really nice time.
And then coming back to the topic of speaking Spanish, so was it difficult for you to learn Spanish? Did you already know Spanish when you came to Chile?
Yeah, actually I did know Spanish because I had learned it in college, and I was super passionate also about it. I really love languages, so it was really easy actually for me. I had it for 2 years. I learned it for 2 years, and then I made my travel to Mexico and then Chile, and there, well, they speak a really weird Spanish, kind of like with love's own words. I wanted to say slang. I don't know if it's slang, but it's like their own dialect.
Yeah,
how was
it's pretty
for
bad.
you?
Oh, I did not know anything when I came to Chile. I don't know why I thought it would be easier. I have no idea. I also did not want to do a course. I'm like pretty stubborn in that topic. So I was like, no, I can do it. And then sometimes asking on my Instagram stories, do you have any tips? And of course, Bubble or Duolingo are like applications that you can use in order to like at least have the basic words, like what is water in Spanish, how are you, things like that. But it's still like didn't really help me that much, so I have to say.
Yeah, same. Like those apps, like they don't really help you for the real world.
No,
I feel they teach you like single words, but
like making a sentence, it was so
difficult.
But I mean,
you told me you learned Spanish like within half a year, and now you speak like really amazing Spanish. Chilean Spanish though, which has a strong dialect, but yeah, you speak really good.
I learned it, actually that's the thing, like I just learned it by hearing people. That is
so
all
crazy.
I can say.
Yeah,
I was the whole time, since I had no friends, I obviously then also was obligated to listen to the people in Chile speaking, and I don't know, that's like the only thing. I didn't even watch things in Spanish because that I didn't understand anything. Netflix Spanish, no chance.
I'm like totally a learner.
No
I have
chance.
to like learn vocabularies, have to read, have to listen before I like want to get out in the real world, but you went straight in.
That's the thing, like
wow.
The only thing that really helped me was, as I said, listening and then trying to speak and then hoping that they would correct you. So that's also what I say in English, because my English also is like fading away, so I'm always saying to someone that is native, please correct me, like if there's anything I say wrong, help me out. That's the pretty best way how you can really improve your language skills, I'd say. But then I had a like boyfriend kind of ish. It's not the boyfriend I have right now, but it was like my first the first person I got to know actually in Chile, and with him it was like only Google Translate. I did not speak so well, and he did not speak any English.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
you told me that.
No, it was pretty bad, and we had a lot of communication problems.
Yeah, that must be so difficult.
But yeah, in his family, I then obviously like heard more and more Spanish, and then also due to my host family, because they really wanted me to improve my skills. And somehow, actually 5 months, it took me 5 months, and I spoke at least like the basic words and could have a conversation. So
That's so crazy.
that
But
was
like, did you know
amazing.
how to write also? Like, how was that?
That's a good point. I was
Like, I
saying
hate
that
speaking if I don't know how it's written. I need help.
I didn't care. I didn't care, honestly. I was just like going for it. I was so happy to then
Wow.
also adapt to the dialect, because they say
Yeah.
things like, instead of si, they would say sipo. So I was really excited to speak like them, even though obviously you could tell that I'm a foreigner, and you still can. My Spanish still is not perfect. But that's okay. Like, at least, as I said, I could communicate. Communicate?
Wow, yeah.
And
so cool. That's like
I-
2 different forms to learn Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So you can comment below what your form of learning a language
Yeah.
is. That would be interesting to know. But yeah, so writing, I actually just wrote
Or
text
reading.
messages. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like through WhatsApp, actually. Because obviously the people I was then interacting with talked to me in Spanish, and they texted me in Spanish, and sometimes I would answer in English, but then more and more I started liking to answer in Spanish, and
Wow.
that's
So
all I
smart.
can say.
Cool. Amazing.
So you do not always have to do a course. You do not always have to.
You can, but you don't have to. Like,
you don't have to.
But you
It's
have to
okay.
be like really.
You have to love what you do, and you have to really, I think, be motivated by something. For in my case, it was I wanted to understand them. I was like, please, I need to understand what they're saying. And I remember the first like parties I got invited, it was so bad because I didn't understand anything, and I knew that they were talking about me. Like, you know, the German, so you know obviously what Alemana means, so you can hear that word and you're like, fuck, they're talking about me and I don't know what they're saying. But then
Like, you have to be really confident to learn Spanish
You want
that
to know
way. That like not even knowing if what you're saying is correct and not knowing how to write it. No, I'm like I have to really know that first.
I think it's just the fact that you don't care. Like,
Yeah.
the moment where you don't care what people think about you is the moment then that actually like it flows easier to you, I think. So I
Wow.
really didn't care what they, I mean, most of them don't even speak English or just like the basics. So
Yeah, not really a lot.
English is such an important language for the whole world. So I was like, if now I'm like not perfect speaking Spanish or I have my issues, don't talk to me.
Like also if you want to go to Chile, you can do something speaking English, but in many places you don't get very far with the language.
No.
Yeah, but I mean you can make it somehow, but
I think our tip is have at least a few basic
Yeah.
Spanish skills, or like know how to communicate, asking for something or asking where something is.
because
if you
really
go
they don't
traveling.
speak a lot of English.
That's the point. That's
No.
it. Yeah. Or you stay with amazing people who already speak Spanish and then speak to you all the time, then obviously you learn it much faster.
Depends what you want, of course. Like if you stay in hostels,
Yeah.
then maybe you get to know a lot of English-speaking people also.
Yeah.
Then maybe you don't need Spanish. Depends what you want.
Exactly. If you don't care about the language and you're just like, okay, I need to see this amazing country, the landscape and all that, then it doesn't matter so much if you don't speak Spanish,
Yeah.
I'd say. But then also, don't you like to go to a country and get to know the culture and get to know the language? Because
Yeah.
that's also something that just makes such a huge difference. Everybody acts differently in different languages.
How did you get to know the first people in Reñaca? Like you went there all alone?
Yes. In Reñaca, I got to know... No, actually, that's wrong. I had a friend in Australia, and he told me, go to Reñaca because I have family there, and I have a sister. She's really nice, so you
Wow,
could talk
okay.
to her. So that's what I did. Actually,
Wow,
yeah, I went
okay.
there because of him, because otherwise I could have gone to probably like La Serena or any other beach town.
You had some connection.
I went there because he told me that it would be nice and that his sister can like take me for a coffee and maybe show me something. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's how you met like more people through her.
Exactly, because she
That's
took me
useful.
then. That's where I met my first boyfriend, because she took me to included me a lot in activities.
Cool. Wow.
And it still was like it was so hard because there were obviously times that she would not maybe ask me or invite me, and she would just think that maybe I come along and I know that they are meeting, but I didn't, and I felt so many times, I don't know, like excluded, can you say that? But of course they didn't do it on purpose, because I was just a German traveling
Not
girl.
understanding much.
Not understanding much, exactly. So they also thought maybe she doesn't want to join us because she's always just like smiling and doesn't really get what we're saying. But yeah, eventually it took time, but now we are
Now you're
more or
speaking
less
incredibly, incredibly
you.
fluent.
I think it's just there is still so much improvement, but I think
Always, but I mean, you can communicate without any problems.
That's the thing. I think it is also that you just have to acknowledge that what you've done is like
of course.
enough. You know. Another question I got asked was, how is living there? Like, if you don't just go to travel, but you literally want to spend money on like rent or food.
For a longer stay?
For a few months, like more than just like going for 2 weeks to Chile. What is it like?
Like, something everyone says who goes to Chile is that it's pretty expensive, and they all get super surprised because actually it's like the same cost of living as in here in Germany.
Or more.
Or more. Like, definitely when you go to the supermarkets, they are way more expensive, most of the products, than here in Germany, for example, or in Europe in general. And that was just something crazy that almost no traveler is prepared for that. It's like almost some guy told me, well, that's like prices in the north of Germany, in like island prices where you want to have like luxury, like really nice places. But in Chile, everywhere it's pretty expensive. I would say, well, it depends. Sometimes rent is cheaper, depends on what you get.
And where?
It's so crazy. Transport is pretty cheap though. Like, transport
That's
is the
true.
only thing we can say. Transport, Omar, it's really cheap.
Yeah, I'd say public transport. But then adding to the cost of living,
It's like equal again.
Yeah. And then also, being here in Germany, I enjoy it so much going to the supermarket. And well, I try to get, obviously, that's a good thing. Like in Chile, you can go to the feria, which is like a market, and you always get fresh fruit and fresh veggies, and they're cheap. Like, that's really nice for us
that was also really cheap.
as we're cooking healthy. That's like amazing.
But anything else other than fruits?
That's what I say when I go into the supermarket, and like the toothpaste is about 3 or 4 euros.
Toilet
the
paper.
most cheapest.
Toilet paper was so expensive. Like, all of that stuff. Shampoo.
It's so expensive. Yeah, shampoo, you always have to bring your own from home. Otherwise, it's just way too expensive. So I think if you go traveling to Chile or you want to stay there long term, you have to know that it is more expensive.
Plan your budget,
Plan it well, and then also please take your things, your beloved things from back home with you. So for example, for me that sounds stupid maybe, but that was like my cleanser, my even like nail.
I would say even
for the nails.
I would say even food stuff. Yeah, like nail polish remover, €5 or something in Chile. I was like, what?
And here it's 99 cents. Like, that's ridiculous.
Every time I went back to Germany, I brought some nail polish remover and stuff, and also toothpaste. Like, it's so stupid, but I was not willing to pay.
Or scissors or whatever it might be that you have here and in your routine and stuff. Just bring it.
Maybe that's something that one could say about Chile. That's really the justice is not really developed there. I would say, especially like talking about that things like prices. People over there earn like 300 euros minimum wage, so it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So many people cannot pay their own rent and have to live together in order to get to pay everything.
Or they live with their parents until until like 35 or something, because they can't afford it, and it's even understandable. So anyway,
for us as Europeans, I mean, you can pay it, but still it's like, if you think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's really sad about the country.
And it's actually the only country in the whole developed South America, I'd say. Well, developed. It is more developed than the other countries.
Yeah, way more.
But you went to Peru. It's like Peru is right above.
Mexico. I also actually stopped in Colombia, and Chile definitely is like super similar to Europe. It doesn't have so much.
The most expensive of these countries.
Yeah, they call it like the Switzerland of South America because it's really expensive, and but it's like more developed, way more. Like it's not that chaotic. It depends where you go, obviously, but no, you cannot compare it to Bolivia or Peru or something. Yeah. Also, I think it doesn't have so much culture though. Like.
Yeah, that's actually good that we're talking about that, because you mentioned it, and the next point or the next question I was wanting to ask is you asked actually, how are the people? And people is culture, it is like quite, I'll
let you answer first.
I wanted to let you answer first. Okay. I have a Chilean boyfriend, and
yeah, it's true.
I love him so much.
I cannot say so much negative.
No. And also, I made some quite amazing experiences with people there. Super like hospitality, super friendly and nice, and just like heartwarming. But, and now this is like the big but, there are people as well, and this is, I think, something cultures, I'm not sure, but through talking to my boyfriend and talking to my host sisters there, I like kind of figured out that it is something cultural. So many girls especially, and I don't know if people in general, but there are really a lot of women who are jealous, and I feel like a little bit superficial, and that is just my personal experience. But yeah, I don't know, what do you think?
Actually, I had
not everybody, of course.
I had a really similar experience until I thought it was me actually, until I spoke to a lot of foreign girls also that all told me the same thing. Like they feel like it's really hard to get connected in the society, especially with girls. Especially with girls, it was so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it always depends, but your experience was similar. Like maybe Chileans who have been living abroad before or like are traveling a lot are much more open-minded than Chileans or girls who are just like a little bit stuck in their own circle.
Totally.
Yeah.
It was really hard like to get to know or to make real friendships, I feel. Like with people from any other country, I feel like it's so much. I thought it was just me, but no, I talked to like a lot of girls, foreign girls, and they all said the same thing. So that's something where I would say I did not like living in Chile so much because of the it was so hard to make like a good social circle there. And no, I would prefer other places for that. Honestly, for a longer stay or staying in hostels. If you stay in hostels, of course, you don't have that problem. You meet people easily.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And people always tend to ask me, or even like in my polls on Instagram, they were like, what, you want to live long term in Australia and not in Chile? Like long term, I just overall, even though I had amazing experiences, and I would love always to go back, obviously, to visit my family, like my host family there, and then also the family of my boyfriend, I right now at least do not consider myself wanting to live there like long term.
Same.
But things can change, and do go visit. As I said, like there are so many great places as traveler. Be prepared. Budget planning. Well, that was our experience, and our experiences, they're quite a little bit different, but
also similar.
Also similar. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Linda, for
Thanks to
sharing
you.
your story with us.
Ask us any questions in the comments.
Yes. And then we say bye.
Hopefully you have a nice trip. If you go to Chile, enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.